the rap scene. I am Frank 5D. That's enough about me because this dude in the spotlight is definitely a man of his community, should we say. And we want to honor his time. Lil Turtle, Big 4.0, Big F Bones, Poetic Justice. We got the homie
Absolutely.
Spoetyface. What's up, yo? Thanks for
Absolutely.
jumping on.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, blessing me with your platform as well. Get me out, pushing me out to the masses in a different audience, you know what I'm saying? Or people that might not heard me or heard of me or familiar with my story. So I appreciate you reaching out, and I appreciate you blessing me with your platform, your intelligence as well.
Hey man, that's what it's all about right here. Please give the people in your own words who you are and what you all about.
The first thing that come to mind when I have to describe myself, I would say a man of God first. All praises to the Most High. I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a cousin, I'm an uncle. Most importantly, um, I'm a community activist. I'm a man of my community. I'm a voice of the people, and I'm for my people. Most assuredly, I like to say it all the time. I'm pro-black, and I'm all for the togetherness, and the unification of the black man.
Word up, straight up and down. A man of your community is once again is a great way to describe you, yo. Jumping right off the porch with it, rolling 40s. That's what you rap.
Yeah, I'm out of the Crenshaw district, the Merck Park area, 1,000%. That's my community over there. Born and raised over there.
I'm of age, man. I remember back in the days, Spody, you could pull up on LaSalle or Halldale, right on 39th, right? I know what I'm again. Yeah, you can get anything you wanted over there. How how does how is the transition from gangs being a community driven organization to what it is today?
For the most part, um, I feel like it's sad because I feel like the gang banging part, because it's always been gangs, since the beginning of time. But I think that it took away from the unification and the togetherness, and the unity away from our people. Because now we all divided and we separated. So that'd be my first thing, and then also, what I'm saying, the obvious, which is the participation of genocide amongst each other. You know, instead of sticking together and going after others, or sticking together and making real change, you know, we just divided. We just divided, man, and helping everybody else out. They don't have to worry about the strong black man no more because we exterminate each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely disheartening, man.
And that's a whole nother conversation right there. And I get what you're saying. I'm an '80s baby, born and raised on Crenshaw, Manchester. So
Hmm.
I know what it used to be like, and there is a huge difference between what it was and the politics of today when we talking about at least LA gangs and street culture and like is it more watered down or what is it compared to when you were out scaring the townspeople?
1,000%. It's more watered down. Um, for the most part, I think the kids. So as far as the streets, I think the kids have more of a chance at making it out their situation, making it out the inner city more than I had. Because when I was growing up, I'm an '80s baby as well. I was born in '86. It was really like you was a musician or you played sports. For the black man, it really wasn't no other. You know what I'm saying? I want to say no other way out, or the military, the armed forces. Those was like the three biggest choices that we had. Anything else, it was like nobody really wasn't wanting to do it. They figured it out, and now I feel like it's a lot more opportunity than it was when I was growing up. But it's also it's watered down. As we speak, you got Compton Rick Rock. or no jumper in the deputy sheriff's uniform, man. I never in a million years, never in a million years when I thought I would have seen that. Now, and to be honest,
Yeah, the
I'm not
badge
anti,
and
I'm
all.
not
Yeah.
no, I'm not yeah, I'm not anti police. I tell these kids that I work with and I mentor all the time, go be the police. I'll be the first one to tell them, you tired of getting harassed, you tired of them, unaliving us, you tired of them harming us, you tired of them politicking and discriminating against us and showing prejudice at their real side, go be the police. You know, we teach our kids not to be in law enforcement or correctional officers. So that's why we don't have no any like I'm not gonna say any, we don't have a proper representation or enough of the proper representation in these law firms. I mean, not law firms, but these, these
Precincts, these
law enforcement agencies.
departments.
So but to see that an OG Keyway, you know, be on a platform as big as that, making a mockery out of what a lot of people stood for and died for, and you know what I'm saying, on that hill in Pelican Bay right now, and you just up there like, and that's why, and that's no shot at Compton Rick Rock. That's just me keeping it real. I never in a million years thought somebody like that, that status, or you know what I'm saying, that will be accepted. And it's like things like that. It's just like, yeah, it's over, bro. I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's over.
It's all that's very interesting. Like, I mean, because if it's over now, how long has it been over? Because a lot of the shit is a play. How you've made a very great transition from being in the streets to getting the
Hmm.
content game going on, doing everything how you can do with your mouthpiece, with your mind piece, and making it happen in that way. Why would someone feel the need to actually dip to that level, whatever level that they feel it may be, to put on a sheriff's uniform? Because I'm familiar with Compton Rick Rock and what he's about. He's probably just as much pro police as you just proclaim to be.
Hmm.
How does one put on that uniform if it's not Halloween night?
I don't know, to be honest. The way I was born and the way I was raised, you know, we never even played that. It played like that. That's not accepted. That was an immediate put off. Like, a discipline action at the least. So we didn't even play like that. That was never accepted. So even like, again, a lot of people who, for your viewers and people that's in the chat right now that don't know my story, I grew up, me and my cousin, four extras, we grew up amongst Black Panthers. Our fathers and all my uncles, my grandma even, was Black Panthers. So they came up in that government, the anti-government era, which was rightfully so. It just so many things going on, fighting for civil rights and equal pay and just everything. But entering a street element, that was always there. Like, we didn't even play like that. And I feel like when you making a mockery or something, whether you, I don't know his. I just want to single him out, but that's just like this thing's going on right now. And I seen it, and I was just like, bro, it kind of bothered me, because it's like, if you want to advocate for young men to be the police and stuff like that, it's like, but that's not true though. We trying to say these kids, you supposed to be a G, a OG Keyway. You supposed to be example. You know what I mean? For you, I think that took away from his, not necessarily his gangster, but that took away from his like word. Like, I just, because there's so many people who died for it. It's like almost. I mean, I just feel like he making a mockery. I don't take it as a joke. I'm not gonna put it up nothing more than that. I feel like he making a mockery of the homies. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you represent us. We Keyways. Now you know how this is gonna be ran. You know what I'm saying? You know how Munchie B and Snoopy Badass and all other Damus, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Go run with this and do that. It's just like, bro, it's just a bad look for me. It's just a bad look. Like, I don't appreciate it. Like, we got too many homies in the Inglewood Cemetery, Compton Cemetery. You know what I mean? And Whittier right there that died for this and they locked up for this, and you gonna make a mockery of them? I just think you just slapped everybody in the face with that. And I didn't appreciate that, bro. I didn't get the joke. I don't think it's funny. And I'm kind of disappointed, man. If I must say.
Mm. Uh, you know, I can't say that I. That's one of the reasons why I stayed out of y'all areas. Because I don't like sheriffs. I don't like police. And for
Inglewood got the shares. My part of town don't got the shares.
well, it's
You
mostly
know,
I.
we got 77 in Southwest. Yeah, y'all got the shares though.
Right. It would honestly, Inglewood being kind of central in LA,
Yeah,
especially close to LAX, we saw everybody from
yeah,
Torrance to Lennox to
that's a
Carson.
fact. That's a fact.
Everybody comes to Inglewood when anything happens. To the HPs, to the sheriffs, everybody comes there. So it's kind of
That is a fact.
we make an enemy of IPD, but it's
Yeah.
really all of them.
Yup,
LAPD.
Linux people, all the yup, Torrance, Linux, all that's right there. You absolutely right about that.
They definitely all come through there. Um, yeah. So I couldn't see why he would do that. I don't know if they still. This is actually when they're currently speaking or having a live about with your name all in their mouth. Rick Rock was
Of
on there. They
course,
brought J Hood out there. But let me spin back real quick. You mentioned your cousin 4 Extra. How's he doing?
he doing pretty good. I know he in good spirit and stuff like that.
That's what's up.
He doing what everybody else trying to do. We just trying to make it out the hood, man. Trying to do something positive and productive, or just go a different route. I feel like it's easy to go get out, as doing as much time as me and him did, and go hop over somebody's counter or fall in somebody's window. I don't think we get credit enough for being these influential presence and individuals inside our community and still want to do good. We could be abusing. I'm gonna speak for me. Let me speak in the eye for him. I could be abusing my authority. I could be telling these kids to go slide and get put on and all. I'm the complete opposite. I save lives for a living. This what I do. This is my passion. I work with kids. I know I'm a mentor, and I work with adults, man. I get a people hope. Get a people hope. They like, man, if Spoetyface can do it, man, this little turtle can do it. Why can't I do it? Not only that, I stand in front of it, despite the consequences or repercussions, despite what I'm saying, the backlash or the feedback. I really don't be caring about it. I just always been a person, a leader, and I followed my heart. Every time I didn't follow my heart, my conscience, it always led me astray. Something bad always happened. Now I just let the Most High lead me, and I just follow my spirit.
I think that's one reason why you're gaining the audience and getting the traction that you have, because you keep it straight up and down like that, like 100 for real. And that's why people love you and tap into you. No doubt. He he left, he left where you just left, no jumper, prior to you even, getting on. Was that a plug already? And was that did that make it easier for you to leave? When you had it up, when you had it in.
Um, when he left no jumper, I was still in prison. I was in jail. I was doing a year violation in Arizona.
Okay.
So I wasn't out to see that transition. I was talking to him, and he was telling me his reasons. I'll let him tell his story. But I wasn't out when he left. But when I came out, young Aunt Hefe, my brother free young Aunt Hefe too, man. Make sure y'all go donate to that GoFundMe we got up there. The link is in my bio, my Instagram bio.
We're gonna round back on that.
Yeah. So bro, like, hey, bro, like, you trying to come on? You know, I'm like, yeah, why not? Because before I went to prison, before I went to did that violation, only thing people really knew me for, like, in the internet space, was that Brick Baby, the whole debacle with Brick Baby. So I'm like, yeah, I just want to kind of, switch lanes, because you know what I mean. I got something good going out here, and I'm trying to have a focus on that. And then it was just rest history, man. And Adam, we did a classic interview, and then Young Ant, of course, was advocating for me to go on the Tuesday show, and then Munchie was all right with it. And then from that point on, we all sit down and we had a talk, and we created something epic. We made history. We made history with that show. We brung in the new era of the new jumper in a Tuesday show. It had never been done before. You're talking about a rolling 40, a rolling 40 neighborhood crip, an Inglewood family gangster blood, and an A-Tray gangster crip. At one point of times, Like we all our communities is all at odds with each other. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so for um for us to be able to set our differences down or to the side and like, look, we're gonna do this for the culture. We're gonna do this for the people. This platform is on the West Coast. It's LA based. Let me get a, you know what I'm saying? Let's get a Crenshaw district something to root for. Let's get Inglewood something to root for. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Manchester, you know what I'm saying, something to root for. And we did it, and we did it at a high level. And before Bro got locked up, we was the #1 show on the West Coast. That's a fact. The Tuesday show, it was iconic, bro. Could never be duplicated again, bro.
That's
Copycat it,
something.
but never, it'll never be the same.
That's something dope, man. Would you go back on as a host or as a
At this
guest? Would you touch the platform again?
at this moment, I don't see myself, bro. I would never say never, but at this moment, I don't really see myself. I don't really see myself going back. And to be honest, man, shout out to Adam, man. Shout out to No Jumper. There's no beef, despite what Rat No Honey. We talking about. I ain't got no problem with Adam. There's no beef. I appreciate that man. Everybody said that white man. That white man was one of the few people who gave me an opportunity to get on a major platform when I wanted to pursue podcasting, when I wanted to pursue media.
Hmm.
He was one of the few, and he gave me opportunity, and I'm gonna always be grateful for that. I would never bite the hand that feed me, and let the hand that feed me bite me first. I'm
Only
gonna be
snake.
forever grateful. Yeah, I would be forever grateful to that man. I had a lot of trials and tribulations up there, but I ultimately came into myself as a YouTuber and a podcast on this platform. Had it not been for him, I definitely think I would have been able to do it, but it probably would have taken long. He threw me in there with no experience, and I learned on the job. So shout out to him. And his team for giving me that opportunity to go on this platform. But right now, I'm just trying to focus on uh, my community activist stuff, and good vibes and positive vibes. They got a lot up there too. I ain't gonna lie, I had fun when I was at No Jumper, bro. That was one of the
That's
hardest decisions
interesting.
in my
Yeah,
life.
give me some more of that because all we ever see is bullshit. Like from No Jumper, especially on the gang front. What are the
Yeah,
positive aspects of being a part of No Jumper?
it's a lot, bro. It's like a family up there. I ain't gonna lie. Like besides J Hood, I never got into it. Nobody had No Jumper besides J Hood and Wack. Like, and I don't even think Wack is like he's an affiliate, but he's not. I don't really consider him a No Jumper what he is though. But it's like we all family. People be going out playing basketball and going out and supporting each other on the shows and stuff, doing stuff like that. Inviting people out, and it's just like I feel like it's definitely a welcome environment. I don't never feel like I got wronged. Me and Adam probably got some disagreements or some stuff, some misunderstandings. But as far as anybody else, nah. I feel like that workplace, to me, it was good to me. I ain't had no
Well, that's
problem
a
with nobody.
beautiful thing to hear. That I like to hear that, and I would hope that everybody else would like to hear that because everything feels like a play. What was J Hood really brought there by the entities, by Adam and Wax presence to challenge you to make something happen, or was that another play?
Now that was definitely real, but I don't know if Adam has something to do with that. I mean, Wack definitely tried to push his pawn, and it turned out the way it turned out. But I can't say for sure if Adam had anything to do with it. But what I will say is he didn't stop it.
Hmm. Hmm. And
So
forgive my ignorance. J Hood is from Trays.
nah, J Hood is from Carson. He from Stevenson Village, Crip.
Who were you talking about is from Trays?
Young Ant, Young
Young
Ant
Ant.
Hefe.
Young Ant, free him. What made you off topic? What I was just actually getting at. What made you jump behind him? On free him. Where did that initiative come from?
I mean, that's my brother. It's my bro. Like what? I mean, that's we supposed to be doing that off the top.
Do you
You
got
know,
any more bros like that from Tray?
I got a whole lot. I ain't gonna lie, the HAs love me. They mess with me over there. Minus a couple, for the most part, man. I got a good rapport with the HA gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Lil St. Andrews, Tiny Kill, all them my boys, Lil Far Boy, even Sody, you know what I'm saying, when he passed. Of course, Young Ant, Tiny Ant, his big brother Tiny Ant. They're my guys. Western boy, like they love me over there, bro. And it's definitely likewise.
Well, that's what's up, and that's more the shit that we need to see between hoods, especially hoods that are perceived as being rivals. Shout out for being cool, you know. And my bad for ranting, but I know a lot of that shit
No,
was
you
because
good.
I was from where I was from, and I went to Westchester. I went to Westchester and then Inglewood. But going to Westchester, we all went on that 310. And coming back, all these motherfuckers, all these, baby 60s and whoever in A-Trays, all the cliques, was on the bus. And then we get to Inglewood, and all these motherfuckers who I grew up with is banging on all these motherfuckers. And then they're like, Frank, what up? Yeah, hey, get some blunts. We gonna be, yeah, we see you in a minute, nigga. And I'm like, dude, like, come
So
on.
so
Like, and
so everybody looking at you now.
we pull off, and it's like, yeah, man, who is you? Like, but luckily I am who I am, Frank 5D, and never got into stupid bullshit. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but I mean, so that is really dope for people, in the affiliation to be able to look past bullshit. Because I've noticed that gangbang, America's got a thing for this gangster shit, but it all comes from other places nowadays. And I don't think that people give enough attention to how gangbanging in LA is more in the land. It is more loved now than it's ever been. You know,
Yeah.
it's more like we all in this thing. Ain't nobody just shooting for no reason no more. It's more catching fades than killing. And that's what's up.
Yeah, I definitely think LA has changed for the better. It's still nonsense going on, but I definitely think like a lot of people waking up because you have people like me and that's out here doing intervention work and prevention work and yeah, we rooted in our communities, man. You got a lot of good people that's bridging the gap out here. There's a lot of good people that's in these neighborhoods, offering safe passes, de-escalation, like I said, prevention and gang intervention. So I think that's the difference between LA and a lot of cities. We go to a lot of different cities and train, um, give them our curriculum, what's working for us, and also train them as far as in those four things that I just mentioned right now. So yeah, I definitely think LA is in a good spot right now. We got a lot of work to do, but I definitely think that we'll get there eventually.
That's what's up. We have a lot of these entities like a Dejan Paul or a DJ Head who have a lot to say about artists who are coming out from Inglewood. Who do you like? Or not just Inglewood, my bad, but from LA and the West Coast in general.
I like a lot of people, bro. Like I think I like Eastside K Boy, Compton AV, Blue Bloods Clan, Dodie Six, my homeboy, of course Kendrick. Uh, it's a lot of people. 310 Baby, of course Tiger's still doing his thing. It's a lot of people out west that's G Perico, J Rock, of course. Oh, and of course, my favorite right now, man. Mozzie, man. Shout out Mozzie. He got the West on his back. He
Mm-hmm.
carrying the West. He dropping classic after classic after classic. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Prized possession right now. Mozzie number one on. He top of my list. Shout out to Mozzie, man. You know what I'm saying? Four fingers. Yeah.
211.
211 haven't he ain't been doing nothing recently though.
I think I
When did
think
he
I
drop?
think he's more
When did
on
he
his
drop
business.
more?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know he got this. I know he got the store. He got the clothing store and stuff over there.
yeah.
He more of a, then he in this bag with the nonprofit and the philanthropy as well though. So I'm familiar with his story. I know people close to his situation. And shout out to him. You know what I'm saying, for keeping it afloat, keeping it going. In Inglewood. But yeah, as far as music right now, I don't think I don't think nobody over Mozzie right now. I got Mozzie over everybody. I ain't gonna lie.
Mozzie dope. Shout out Mozzie. Most definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, when are you opening up a store? When are you coming out with a line? What's up?
It's coming soon, man. I got that Spoetic Justice line coming out. I got some also some other merch. I'm just bring it on to y'all. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all stay tuned. But yeah, I got a whole lot of stuff coming, and then we looking at locations right now. We gonna put the store up. in Leimert Park area. Why not? It's historically black, So
We gonna be supporting 100%. Just send me over a pack. We gonna run up that promo and everything. No, what's up.
absolutely, you already know you got that for sure.
You see,
For
I'm
sure, you
rocking the
got that.
Super Mall.
Yeah,
It's not a
I was about
fake
to get.
one.
I was about to get on you. I was about to tell you too. That's that sweater's super dope. You got that. I wanted one. I never was able to get one. That's super dope though.
Man, it ain't the Issa Rae. It ain't the Issa Rae
Yeah,
edition. I
yeah.
I got a story. I saw it on Instagram on the release when it was the night before, or not the night before, the day of the release, when they were shooting the basketball ball and whatnot. And I was like, oh, I need that most definitely. I went up there the next day, and I don't know what, for whatever reason, I wore my all orange Nike jacket. It was slightly chilly, and I walked in there, and them niggas was like, "Who is you, motherfucker?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just out. You got one of these?" They wasn't on the floor. They had them all behind the counter, and they got me my issue. But yeah, they was on me. I was, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's dope, man. And once again, we love the transition, like, for sure, from where you came from. Welcome back. I know it's been a little bit since, but we love to see the progress and your motion. It really seems like you hit the ground running. Um,
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I definitely been putting in hard work, man. Trying to build my platform, trying to build my presence, and just trying to build my community. Definitely appreciate it.
Most definitely, and that's why it's weird to see. It feels like that sheriff's uniform that Rick Rock was just wearing was like really talking to you. What is the issue between y'all?
I mean, he could never say that was because of me. There's no
Not
issue.
because of you, but it feels like it was talking to you.
There is no issue. I never had a problem with that man. Never met that man. I still don't got a problem with it. He just said my name. I don't know the man. Our hoods is allied. We wear the same hat. Like I don't have a problem with him or his community. I just had a problem with what he said about me. So I try to go over there, what I'm saying, to get understanding.
Hmm. Well, so, like, we've seen you with an interaction, meeting up with Jay for the first time, and another name, being mediated. Could that happen between you and Rick?
I don't got no problem with Rick Rock. If I see Rick Rock today, I wouldn't do nothing to Rick Rock.
Hmm.
There's no beef there. I don't have. Listen, I don't be beefing with people. People beef with me. I don't be having problems with nobody. Like I try to live. I try to lead by example and stuff like that. I don't be. I just don't have. I don't beef with people. People beef with me, man. I don't have a problem with that, man. Even though a lot of stuff he be saying be inaccurate, but I just let it be, bro.
You've mentioned, you shouted out, is it Moose? You shouted out Moose, right? Moose Man, is that his name? Am I getting that
Yeah,
right? My bad. I don't watch too much No Jumper, yo.
yeah. His name Moose, man.
You shouted out him as probably the best host that's on there right now. Who would be
He's one
the
of them.
best?
He's one of them.
Yeah. Who else?
Of course, Lush.
Lush. Tell me more. He seems like a real weirdo to me, of everything that I've checked out. Well,
Man, he might do, but he not a podcast. I'm not saying that he is, that he ain't. But everybody's different. I feel like Lush is definitely one of the better podcasters on No Jumper. Him and Moose, man.
hmm. Okay. I mean, I guess I could see that most definitely. I don't know the dude. I'm definitely not trying to diss him at all. Shout out Lush. Um, and not, being weird is not terrible. I'm fucking weird as hell myself.
Yeah.
Who? What I really want to ask you is, who is the best ex No Jumper host who went on to have their own platform?
I want to say Poetic Flacco because, in my personal opinion, he has become the most successful.
Uh huh. I
So,
watch Flacco myself. I watch a lot of his content. Yeah, but just because he's the most successful, or is
of
there something
course,
else about it?
uh, of course. I mean, he's successful for a reason. He be running it up.
You guys just had a collab. What's the contrast between working on No Jumper and working on Flacco's platform?
I mean, it's all love. He definitely know my work. You know, we definitely had something in the works. I will be on the show with him and T Real now. They brought me on that, Flacco, T Real, and Spoetyface. We gonna definitely do that. You know what I mean? The hip hop show or whatever. And then it's more collabs with the videos coming with Flacco as well. You know, he threw me a life raft.
Mm.
You know, he you know, real recognize real, man. A lot of people don't be liking, you know, to allow these suckers to win. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I made the PSA. He came calling, and I'm forever grateful. Like to him, you know what I'm saying? The same thing like Adam. Adam gave me a platform to grow into my own, to blossom. And Flacco kind of threw me a life raft. Like, hold up, they kicked you off the boat. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm like, man, that's what's up, bro. I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate it. I'm so grateful. Appreciate the love.
Most definitely. Shout out Flacco, and shout out anybody else who's trying to do that type of stuff, and
Yeah,
throw people life rafts, and especially when there's no bullshit coming from behind it.
yeah,
I would hope that that is not happening, but you know,
no, yeah. Coming on the way. We got a couple that we did. Whenever you put them out, you gonna put them out. And like I said, I'm gonna be working with him and T Rail weekly as well.
and shout out community, most definitely. Most definitely we caught that interview. Like they asked you, they covered a lot of the shit that we wanted to actually run past you. If for those watching, we were supposed to do this about a week ago, but schedules weren't mixing up. So, but yeah, good shit. And we will hope
Yeah,
so.
I put up a classic over there. Like I'm trying to put up a classic over there. I told him that was gonna be a classic.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But ask me anything. You know what I mean? Fire away.
I hope we can get more of this. Like what? Would there be any way, shape, or form that you and Wack could, coincide and come back together?
You see that, right? I mean, 0%.
What is it like? I was an early adopter of Clubhouse when you were behind the walls, and I saw the takeover, and that was my first introduction, and it was immediately like, why? Like, what is going on? I don't dig what's going on. There's no mouthpiece. And another person I want to ask you more about is Snoopy Badass. Basically, he said there's no mouthpiece to this shit. Compton Menace said the same exact thing. Like speaking directly about Whack. What is the issue between y'all? Like, where did that come from?
A lot of people know they're not familiar. It's still from the old DC PC Baby Diddy thing. You know what I mean? DC Baby Draco. I call it PC Baby Diddy. It comes from that. But I feel like he just took it too far. That's why we had no point of no return. You know, everybody here, he just spoke up on my kids and my deceased mother multiple times. It's just like, yeah, we'd never be cool, bro. It's out. It's over with. But yeah, I feel like he a whole lot of things. And a snake is the biggest one. You know, if you say something that that he don't like or he disagree with, he turns on you like this, turns his back on you, and then you know what I'm saying, declare war on you. You know, so I don't worry about that, man. He's surrounded with a lot of PCs and runaways. You know, so especially them clubhouse dudes.
PCs and runaways. Yeah, and I've said it a few times. It takes a special type of person to still be running behind that Clubhouse game. We had it going for a while, and it was a good jump off point for certain things that we had going on. But it seems like a cult, especially when we're talking about the 100 rooms or whatever they are these days. Yeah, I try to not tune much in. Um, how do you feel about him and his artist? The relationship between him and his artist, like he manages the game, right? And
I don't think he met his game no more. Or Ray J.
I remember I shot the game one time at, yeah, I didn't shoot him. I'm a photographer. I shot one of his shows at the observatory, and I was all over the stage. And somebody told me, all right, get out of Chuck way. Like, I was all in front of him and shit, in front of the crowd. And then somebody pulled me, like literally snatched me up and pulled me to the side. And I want to remember it being whack. I know it was a short dude, a short, like, bigger dude. If I was a little bit bigger than him, but I just remember him telling me like, "Yo, you way too close to Chuck. Get off the stage." And I was like, "All right, bro, like I'll get off the stage." Um, and I would like to remember that being him and not being very intimidated by him at all. But I don't know why I'm bringing that up. It's just funny. Because I think Wax funny. I think his voice is just funny and how he goes off on Damu on Pyru. It's just a hilarious thing. Like, is that a play? Is all of that really a play, or is that like him?
I mean, I think it's theater, very
Mm,
comical to me. I don't
Theater
look
of
at him
good.
as I don't think I don't take him or look at him as no real Damu.
Mm.
Real street people don't conduct themselves that way. He went on
You know,
he went on Wax talking about he's taking credit for getting my page stuck. Like, what is that? What we doing, bro? Like that's accepted. Like, you just get to do. That's why I said the streets is watered down, bro. Like, that's accepted. Everybody around him, y'all accepted that. Y'all gonna let him say that and still be cool with that? Just we
growing
almost stink, man. We almost extinct, man. Last of the dying breed, bro. I'm at a disadvantage out here because I got morals and ethics. These dudes are lawless, you know.
Well, I'd like to take a different approach on that. I think you have an advantage in having those morals and ethics, and displaying them when you speak. It's a few people out here who are talking like you do, and of course, if you're on the internet where we are, the internet of our Lord, people are gonna say what they say. People are gonna have their opinions. People are gonna dissect your shit as any which way they can. You follow a lot of the Hebrew Israelite teachings. Is that
Hmm.
something that you came upon in jail?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely came into the truth while I was in jail.
Hmm.
Um, um, the mother of my son, she actually introduced me to the truth. And my whole life, previous to that, my whole life, most of my family was Christian, but my grandma and my uncle, like, they were Jehovah Witness. So a lot of the teachings and stuff, I always grew up knew that Jesus wasn't his name, the Messiah name, and the Messiah, what I'm saying, was black. So once I started dealing with this particular woman, she was already in the truth. And she just started lighting me and she was challenging me on different things, scriptures, biblically, spiritually, what I'm saying, and historically, and I accepted the challenge and I actually lost the battle.
Hmm.
Yeah, she cut me up. We call it cut up. She cut me up, showed me scriptures and proved it to me scientifically, and biblically. I was amazed. So from that day on, I just been studying and trying to get better, and knowing finally we know who we are, but I know who I am, but just trying to get stronger in the word.
What is up with their outlandish approach to things?
I don't think nothing strange about the approach or whatever. I mean, you have different type of Israelites. I'll say that.
Hmm?
Not
Okay.
all, not all, not all Israelites are the same. Not all Christians are the same. Not all Muslims is the same. You
Noted.
know,
Hmm.
yeah. So it's no different. Doctrine is the only difference. And that doctrine is what the reason why the world is involved in a holy world. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a difference of doctrine, but it's just probably the people that you see and you had that negative experience. But I definitely don't think every Israelite brother or sister has a strange approach.
So, what is the difference between someone who knows the truth like you and someone who stands on the corner with a loudspeaker yelling the truth to all passerbys?
I mean, I know the truth just as well as they do. I mean, street teaching's been around since forever. That's biblical. Street teaching's been around forever, and just because I don't uh, particularly street teach, I go support it, but I don't feel like it's anything wrong with it. Some people could come off a little bit harsh or probably handle it a different way, but I feel like it takes time, devotion, smarts, courage to get out there, to get out there in the streets. So you also gotta have the wisdom and the knowledge to be able to preach the word or be able to, debate anybody that you encounter with.
Absolutely understood. Um, it seems like when I see them on the corner, it's more of like a heretic type of thing. Whereas opposed to speaking to you right now, it's
Mm,
like I'm, being exposed to the truth or
mm.
something, if that makes any sense. Like
Yeah, I mean, it do. And to be fair, some of my brothers and sisters could, make it probably have a better approach or a different approach. I'm not gonna say better, probably a different approach, But like I said, not all teachers are the same.
Mhm, mhm.
I done had teachers that couldn't teach me nothing. I just didn't learn from them, and I had teachers that I got it off the. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't seclude us or put it in a box like that because your encounters is not everybody encounters. You might the things you might don't get, another person might get, or he might understand. So I feel like everybody has their own methods and their own doctrine, and I think the Most High He says it that scripture. He said you're supposed to get your own understanding, because if you're the leader of the household, you're supposed to be able to protect and provide, also lead.
Mm.
So
Straight up and down, man. And very nice stop point, should I say. We want to thank you for your time, sir. Most definitely, Spody. With that being said, how are we approaching all this beef that you're going through, and how many people and all these people who have beef with you, and how are we approaching that going forward? Anything you
well,
want to say to a whack? Anything you want to say to a J Hood, or anything?
nah, nah, I don't beef with J Hood, man. J Hood talk behind the scenes. I don't beef with J Hood. There's no beef with
Did y'all
Rick
really
Rock.
fight? Did y'all really fight?
Nah,
Or
I've been on wax saying I didn't fight. He never touched me. I never touched him. I've been saying that forever. These are just false narratives that Wack is saying. Never fought. He never touched me. I never touched him. We never fought. Again, we never fought.
I mean, that's why I gotta say. That's why I was asking you: is it all a play? Because it seemed like y'all did. Like it seemed like y'all was just trying to both keep it gangster, and y'all really went out there and handled your issue.
Nah. Fortunately, we didn't, and we was able to, come to understanding as brothers. You know what I mean? And yeah, shout out to him. Much respect.
That's what's up. You don't want to address anybody else. I did mention whack.
Nah,
Nothing to say. No.
no, I don't want to address anybody, but again, I don't beef with nobody. People beef with me, and I just give all praises to the Most High and try to focus more on my philanthropy and helping this youth in my community.
With that
So
being said, what's coming up next?
of course, I got the father son field trip. I mean, father son fishing trip. Haven't got a date on it yet, but that'll be in my next thing for the community father son fishing trip. Not only is biblically, it's spiritually. You know what I'm saying, and historically. Not a lot of black people know how to fish unless you're from the country or stuff like that. Especially out west, not a lot of people that even been there. So the Messiah said, if a man is hungry, you give him a fish, he eat for a day. But if you teach these boys how to fish, they eat forever. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get them the tools and just the basic instructions before leaving Earth. Give them a fighting chance out here.
That's what's up, man. Would you be interested in having some assistance with that? One of my close homeboys that I grew up with, there in Inglewood,
Absolutely.
he lives at Kenneth Hahn and at Santa
Hmm.
Monica on them boats, to
Hmm.
casting those lines. It was such a beautiful thing.
No problem at all. You got my number. Just tell me. You just connect it for sure. I have no problem with that at all.
I know
The
you're
more
gonna
the
see.
better.
Yeah, we trying to get that popping right away. Anything else you want to say to the people? Give another positive word, Mr. Spoetyface.
So my last thing I'll leave the people with is the sooner we start, I say this all the time, the sooner we stop looking at one another as oppositions, enemies, and we start looking at each other as brothers and sisters, the world will quickly become a better place. The world will become a better place. We got to stop looking at each other as enemies and oppositions. Got to start learning, like, you know what I'm saying, starting to learn to love your blackness, love your brothers and sisters, embrace your blackness, love your blackness. and stop turning down your blackness. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Turn it up. When a white person walking down the street, you look away. Oh, how you doing, ma'am? How you doing, sir? You go in an establishment. How you doing, ma'am? How you doing, sir? You see another black or Latino brother walking down the street, you want a mad dog them, asking where they from. We gotta stop doing that. So I just want everybody to take that in consideration.
Love to hear it from Spoetyface himself on the mission, on the path of peace. That's what we're talking about, and that's what we need more from, of these people who are in the spotlight and who are here making noise. I would really like to hear that, and not keep hearing about, you beefing with people back and forth. No matter what play is going on, there's a way to inject your message into it, and I hope that keeps coming.
Absolutely, 1000%. Again, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for inviting me on your platform. It's an absolute pleasure. Handle yourself with, love and class. I appreciate that. We need that more out, man. Continue with doing what you're doing. You got big things on the way, big things coming. You found a friend and a brother in me. Don't hesitate to reach out if there's anything I can assist you with or you need my help with anything.
100 people follow Spoetyface, or the next episode is going to be about you. My name is Frank 5D. Follow me on any app you can tap. That's what it is. Positive energy activates constant elevation.